Well, hello, guys. Welcome to day 2 of Pain into Power. Yesterday, we talked a lot about trauma, how your body responds to it, your ego, the part that it plays, your subconscious, and how it affects your life, your RAS system, narcissist, honesty, journaling, lessons, forgiveness. There was a lot of information yesterday. So if you haven't watched it yet, I strongly recommend that you go back and watch that one before you watch this one. There was so much knowledge and tools yesterday that helps you understand the mind and the body and how it affects our healing journey. So today we're going to talk a little more fun stuff. We're going to talk about expanding your mind, self-care, standards, boundaries, self-worth. So let's get started. Excuse me, I need a drink. Okay, so when I was at my lowest and I started my healing journey, it was really, really hard for me to see my self-worth. I had been through a lifetime of crap leading to that point. So because of it, I had very low self-esteem. Self-care, non-existent. Didn't do it at all. I put everyone and everything first. And being a mother, it is really, really easy for us to do that. We tend to put our children first. For years, I was a stay-at-home mom and wife. And so everything that my daughter needed came first. What my husband needed at the time came first. When my grandma got old and the last few years of her life, I'm the one that took care of her. So her needs came first. There was always somebody or something that I put before myself. Always. So because of it, I had very, very little to no personal boundaries. I allowed people to treat me less than I deserved. I allowed people to walk all over me, talk down to me, basically just treat me like shit. And I allowed it, and it was what I was used to. So it just happened all the freaking time with everybody. So when somebody would give me a compliment, I'd smile and say thank you. And on the surface, like, thanks, but on the inside, I wanted to curl up and hide. But my mind would race, and I would tell myself, they're lying, they don't mean it, they're just trying to be polite. I could go on and on about the different doubts and fears and thoughts that came up by a simple compliment. And it could be something minor, just little things. I never, ever, ever believed anybody was being truthful and authentic and that they meant it. And honestly, I felt really uncomfortable every time I got a compliment. I felt so uncomfortable because a lot of it was I wasn't used to it. And I didn't have that love and belief in myself was a huge part of it. But I was great at faking it. I was really good at faking it. I was raised to fake it. I'd done it for years and years and years. My mom taught me to hide our emotions and feelings and to keep your home life private. Nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors, ever. But I realize now that a lot of why my mom taught me that is because she was hiding the truth about our home life, about her drug problem, her addiction, and her own mental health issues that she had going on. And there were friends and family that didn't know there was a problem until the day my mom passed away. There were numerous relatives and things that were shocked when they found out that it was a drug overdose. They had no idea. And I would tell them, like, this is something she has struggled with my entire life. And all of them were like, I had no clue. Now, mind you, I was 38 when my mom died. 38. That is a long time to hide it. Some of my relatives, like my uncles, a couple aunts, a few other people that were really close to me, knew the last, 6 to 7 years of my mom's life. If it was even that long. They knew because my mom had relapsed after my grandma passed. And things got really, really bad when she relapsed. And it wasn't just with her. It was the man that she was with that got her back into drugs. He was very abusive towards her. He tried to kill her a few times. I can't even count how many times I got a call from the police to pick my mom up from the hospital because he beat the crap out of her. I had to, when me and my ex-husband were still married, one of the first big incidences that happened with my mom, we had to go move her out of the house. And when we moved her out of the house, we had guns with us. We have our concealed carry permit, all of us that were there was 4 of us. And we didn't even have it concealed. Like, it was right there, because he tried to kill her with a crowbar. And he wouldn't leave the house. Now, this house was a rental that my mom was in. His name wasn't on the lease. Like, he wasn't even supposed to be there. But that's, yeah. At one point, he threatened to kill me and my daughter. I had to get a court restraining order to keep him away, because he had made threats towards us. He pretended to be people. He pretended to be the head guy of a biker gang that said that they were coming after me and my daughter as a favor to him because they owed him a favor. I mean, it was crazy, the shit that happened. So, but a lot of, I know one uncle in particular, we actually got really close through all this crap with my mom. And when it started, when she relapsed after my grandma passed, that was the first time I'd really opened up to him about some of the stuff from my childhood, and he had no idea. And he was one of the uncles that we did actually spend time with, I remember going over to their house, and him and his wife at the time, they're divorced now, but his wife at the time babysat me sometimes, and they have 3 kids. Their oldest is a couple years older than me. Their only daughter is a year older than me, and their youngest is the same age as my brother. So when we went over there, we had somebody to play with and hang out with. But okay, anyways, I could easily get sidetracked and talk forever about that stuff because of everything that I talked about yesterday, everything that I went through, everything I was going through. I personally could not see my self-worth or set healthy boundaries. And I was always taught self-care was first off selfish. And self-care, for the longest time, I believed it was things that were expensive. And so it wasn't for me. So I didn't ever do anything to take care of myself. Social media was a huge trigger for me in the beginning. I would see so many happy, beautiful, successful women living their best life. Some of them were happy and single. Others were happily married. Now, mind you, when I started this, I was in the beginning stages of a divorce. Like, we were still in the same house together. But now it's so different. But I look back and there were so many things that would trigger me. And I know that we only see people's kind of highlight reel. We don't always, some people share everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. Not everybody does that. And there's many people that only show the good parts of their life, but it wasn't registering to me at the time. And I would catch myself like jealous, judging them. And in my mind, there was no comparison. They simply just had things that I would never have. And I know now those triggers were there and they were happening because it was highlighting things in me that I needed to heal, things that I truly desired to have, but I didn't have the belief that I could have them. So I had beliefs that were limiting and blocking me, telling me that I would never have them. I wasn't deserving of them. They just simply were not meant for me. And it would spiral me back down. It was me in a victim mindset, letting my life, circumstances, and wounds have power and control over me. And when you're in that place, it's really hard to start believing in yourself. Your mind is so limited. It gets small and limited when you're in that constant fight or flight. So I started working on just expanding my mind. So this exercise is something, I used to do all the time. Like, I did it a lot to help expand my mind. So I highly suggest doing it for yourself. So if you grab a pen and paper, do it after, you don't have to do it right now. If you had $100 million right now, money was no object, you just had hundreds of millions of dollars, what would your dream life look like? What would you do for a living? What would you do every day? What would your hobbies be? What would you look like? Where would you live? What kind of person would you be? Like, think big, dream big, like the magical things. Even if you think in this moment that there are things that are never going to happen, just dream big and write them down. The point of the exercise is expanding your mind to open it up to possibilities. And the possibilities are endless. The only person limiting you is you. The only person that is going to hold you back is you. So when you do this, notice what thoughts and beliefs come up. Pay attention to all the reasons that come up as to why you can't or won't ever have it, or why you don't deserve it. Those are your limiting blocks and beliefs, okay? Those are the things that you need to heal. Those are the things you need to reframe and release and acknowledge and all of that stuff. And I know in the beginning it's really hard to reframe it in a way that you can believe it, especially when you are in a situation where you feel like you are stuck in an unhealthy marriage or a horrible relationship or whatever your circumstance is. So ask yourself, and yes, write it out. What if? It's like two magical little words. What if I believed I could have it? What if I believed I could be happy? What if I believed I could take care of myself? What if I believe I deserve better? What if I believe I deserve to be with somebody who loves and respects me and treats me well? What if I believe I could just have it all? What if I believe that it is possible? So if your dream is to own your own business and you have a whole list of reasons come up about why you could never have it, write each individual one, and then rewrite it again. What if I believe I could be successful? What if I believe it would come easily? What if I believe I could get the resources I needed to start my business? Whatever it is. Your ego is the one telling you that you can't. And we talked about that yesterday. Your ego is lying to you to keep you small, to keep you familiar. And right now, as unhappy as your situation may be, or wherever you're stuck, it is familiar. It knows how to navigate your life day to day. So it's fear of the unknown. So it lies to you to tell you a million reasons why you can't do it or have it or whatever. So neutralize the ego. Once we neutralize our ego, then we can open it up to possibilities. And opening it up to possibilities, you can really start to look deep down and see what things you truly want. And I firmly believe that the things that we really truly desire, the happiness, for some people, it might be a farm in the country. Like your dream life is just to live in a mountain or whatever it is. You truly deeply desire that because that is what is meant for you. That is the life that you are meant to have. Those are the things you are meant to have in your life. And here's the thing. A lot of people don't believe that they're worthy of it, especially when they've been through some shit and they're starting their healing journey. But you are worthy and deserving simply because you are here. Simply because you desire it. You are worthy. Life is meant to be fun. Life is meant to be abundant. Life is meant to be easy. We are the ones making it hard on ourselves. I do this exercise often, especially in the beginning, but I still do it now, 3 years later. And the more you do it, the more your mind is going to open up and expand. So I suggest and dig deep. Don't just be oh, there's this purse I really like. Dig deep, truly. What would your dream life look like? If money was no object, what would your life look like? How would you act? Would you be kind? Would you be an asshole? Just be honest with yourself no matter what it is. And don't be surprised if you have trouble really getting deep. In the very beginning, mine was very surface level. But the more I did it and kind of expanded the possibilities and worked on myself and my self-worth and believing in myself, the more mine changed. And the deeper I got, to a point where it's well, I really don't give a fuck where I live or what my house looks like. I just want to be happy. I want to enjoy life. So it will change, but do it, especially in the beginning, do it often, every couple of weeks or something. You don't have to do it every day, but do it a few times. So the next thing I want to talk about is gratitude. I know many of you have probably heard this before. Gratitude is the attitude, but being in a state really raises your vibration. And wherever you are energetically vibrating at, whatever frequency you are putting out, you can only attract things in that same frequency. So if you're constantly sad and angry and everything else, you're not going to attract the good, happy things. You have to think positive. You have to vibrate on the same frequency of what it is. And the easiest way to do it is gratitude. So if you start with gratitude in the now, that's what I do. And in the beginning, it's hard to be, I should put it that way. You think it's hard to be grateful when you're in a shit situation. But you have to be grateful for the now, what you have in the now, in order to attract things to improve. And there's always, always, always something to be grateful for, even if you don't realize it. So one of the things, one of my coaches says all the time, what you focus on now, you get next. So focusing on all the things that are wrong in your life are only going to attract more wrong things. It's going to attract, if you're focusing on everything you don't like about your life, you're only going to attract more things that you don't like. So shift your focus, shift it to the gratitude energy. Everything is energy, and believe it or not, it can be shifted at will. You can shift it in an instant. So as your energy elevates and as you clear shit out and heal things, your energy naturally raises. You naturally vibrate at a higher frequency. You just naturally move up and happier and just feeling better about yourself. And your energy, wherever it vibrates, that's, like I said, that's the frequency that you put out into the world. So the higher it gets, the more miracles you see, the more amazing and wonderful things you attract. You attract wonderful, amazing, like once in a lifetime opportunities and situations and stuff like that without even trying or realizing it was something you even wanted. And like I said, there's always something to be grateful for. In the beginning, I did things like, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I have food, water, you're watching this video, so you have access to the internet. Be grateful that it's a sunny day. Like I said, be grateful you have a roof over your head, power, heat, a car, a job, a cell phone, kids, pets. Start there. Start with basic necessities, just be grateful. Start every day being grateful. That is what I write 10. Even still, 3 years later, I write 10 every morning to help shift, to start my day on a positive, cleared energy, ready to go for the day. So now that we've cleared some shit out, we've talked about reframing your mind, I want you to go back to that dream list. So what can you start doing and embodying now? Take that big goal and go backwards. Break it into steps. What steps can you take now to move you towards that goal? When I started doing it, I broke it down into really small steps, because then every step that you take and every little goal that you accomplish, it makes you feel good. So it's easy to feel stressed and overwhelmed when you're looking at the big picture, like, how the fuck do I get there? But if you break it down into really small pieces, just baby steps, then as you achieve each one, you're like, whew, and little by little, you start to get that realization that, oh my God, this is possible. I could do this. I could have this. Excuse me. So if your goal is to lose weight and be healthy. You know, what foods can you start cutting out now? How can you eat healthier? What exercises can you start doing? There's a ton of videos on YouTube with at-home workouts. Many of them use their body weight. I have found some that use things like soup cans as weights, you know? So there's no, if money is the reason that is holding you back to getting healthier and fit and things like that, there's no reason for it. You can find free YouTube videos on all of it. If you want to start a business, there's my hair's a mess. There's free YouTube videos guiding you on how to set a web page, how to build an email funnel. Like, YouTube is freaking amazing. I use it all the time, I'm telling you. So, as you achieve the small goals, you'll start feeling better and better and better about yourself. And then, like I said, the reality sets in that this is possible. I could actually do this. And as these build, so does your self-worth. If you were the best version of yourself, living your dream life, full of love and confidence, like, how would you feel about yourself? And make those affirmations and write or read them to yourself, repeat them to yourself every day. Write it out, make a list, rewrite it. You know, we talked about journaling. So, like, if you have body issues, I look forward to being happy with my body. I look forward to being healthy. I look forward to feeling better every day. But write it out to be a positive. Okay? So let's not focus on the negative, or we're only going to attract more issues that we don't like. So we need to write it to focus on a positive. So another thing to remember, you're only ever going to have the life that you feel that you are worthy of. So if you don't feel that you're worthy of a good job or money or love or happiness or being independent or whatever it is, if you don't feel that you're worthy of it, you're never going to get it. You will bypass every situation that comes your way that would ultimately bring you to that outcome. It is time to start believing in yourself. You are worthy of everything that you want and desire simply because you want it. You just have to believe in it, and you have to believe in yourself. I need another drink. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about self-care. I'm a mom, and that mom guilt was real in the beginning with the idea of putting myself first. Like, I have a kid, you know, she needs me. She should be first. She should be the most important. And I was raised to think that self-care were things like spa days and vacation and expensive. But it's not. The truth is, self-care is anything that makes you feel good. It is taking 5 to 10 minutes to just hide out and breathe. Take a deep breath. A bath with candles. Get up 10 to 20 minutes earlier and enjoy your morning coffee in peace and quiet. Journaling, that's self-care. Dancing around, playing and having fun, that's taking care of yourself. I started with all of that. I created a playlist on my phone that was like old school upbeat music that like we used to dance to and stuff like that. And I would play it while I was cleaning. And then and when I was getting in the shower and getting ready, but pretty soon, didn't matter what mood I was in, when I would start playing it, pretty soon, I'm dancing and cleaning to the music, and I was rocking out, and I was having fun, and cleaning didn't feel like such a chore at that point in time. It was easy, it was fun, and it went quick. I didn't feel like I spent all day cleaning the house, even if I had, it felt like it went by in 10, 20 minutes. Find some inspiring podcasts. There's a couple of coaches that I follow online and podcasts that I like to listen to, and I like to listen to them in the morning or read their posts, the inspiring posts, because then I feel uplifted, Women. Here's another little secret that I started doing when I was going through my divorce. Okay? Wear sexy underwear every day. Nobody else is gonna know that they're there. Nobody has to know that they're there. But we feel good. Wear something underneath that makes you feel good and sexy and powerful and confident. And and then I don't know the word to explain it, but you feel like you have a little secret everywhere you go because nobody knows that you're wearing it but you. And I'm telling you, it is a secret, giant, confident booster. Throw away the granny panties. Get yourself some, they don't have to be fancy, but just cute, sexier underwear or matching underwear and bra, and wear it just because it makes you feel good. Wear perfume. Even if you're just home, not doing anything, just smelling it on yourself, especially if you're cleaning or something, as you're walking around and you smell it on yourself, you're like I'm wearing perfume right now and I'm not going anywhere today. I'm home today recording and taking care of stuff around the house, but I love the smell of the perfume. And I really, I like the idea of having a signature scent, something that is unique to you, because then as you're around people and they get used to that particular smell from whatever your perfume is, and they go somewhere else and they smell it in the mall or something like that, or at the store or something. When they smell it, it triggers them to think about you. So it's a great, honestly, it's like a psychology mind fuck. But I learned about that in the beginning too. I studied a lot of psychology and how I was trying to understand how my brain worked and why when I started my journey. And that was, yeah. So wear perfume, even if you're not going anywhere. Meditation. I meditate every day. Sometimes more than once. If something happens and it triggers me to be pissed off or irritated or something like that, I'll take a few minutes and go meditate. Go on YouTube, and so there's Hertz frequency music that has been proven to help raise your vibration and clear out negative thoughts and healing and stuff like that. Listen to the 528. I have the 528. It opens your heart chakra, and it raises your vibration. I have a playlist on my YouTube, and I play it on my TV when I'm at home all day, every day. So no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm working with a client, meditating, cleaning, taking care of my daughter, cooking dinner, it's always playing in the background. And you may not always realize you're hearing it, but you are picking it up from the background. So play it all day. The most important thing to remember, it is not selfish to put yourself first. It is a necessity. And I say that because if you're not putting yourself first, if you're not taking care of yourself, mind, body, and soul, you are not functioning at 100%. When you put everybody else first, you wear yourself really, really thin. And if you're not functioning at 100%, you're not showing up for anyone, including you, the way that they deserve. So if you're not, your kids, like, they're not getting the mom they deserve. Like, maybe you're more tired, irritable, cranky. Your spouse isn't getting the wife they deserve. When you go to work, you're not showing up the way that they should. Like, you're not being the employee. You're stressed out more. Your family, they're not getting, like, the version of you they deserve, the daughter, the mother, sister, or whatever. So start making yourself a priority. When I started making myself a priority and focusing on really taking better care of myself, especially mentally, I started showing up for everybody better. I became a better mom. I didn't get irritated as easy. I didn't get frustrated. I had a lot more patience with my daughter and a lot more compassion and understanding. I am a better sister. Me and my brother have a much, much better relationship now. A better daughter and friend and coach. It clears my mind. It makes me happy, and it allows me to show up and be more hands-on and present in the moment with whatever is going on, because I'm not, especially like with journaling and meditation, I don't have a million thoughts going on in my head. It's so much easier to focus on the now and the present moment. And that's where the magic happens. But it's important to say, when I'm talking about self-care, making yourself a priority, I do not any way, shape, or form mean ignoring or neglecting your children or your responsibilities. If you are frustrated and you're angry, go let it out. Meditate, breathe, listen to music, spend a few moments to release it and shift back to a clear, happier person before you go back to doing whatever it is that you're doing or dealing with whoever it is, so that you don't escalate more. Spend less time on social media. When I first started on this, because it was new and different and everything, my daughter was not always the best about leaving me alone and giving me alone time, because I had never required or asked for it. In the beginning, I would listen to meditations and music while I was pooping, because that was, at that point, that was the only way I could have a few minutes to myself. It was the only time my kid would give me some peace and quiet. I know. You have to get creative. I got creative. Play while you're in the shower, whatever. Meditate while you're in the shower. But yeah, so like I said, I have a smart TV. So now I play it on my TV in the background all day. I've also gone through my social media and unfriended people who were toxic or negative, and people, especially family, that were just negative all the time. But I knew that it would cause some kind of argument or issue if I had deleted them. I still have them. I just unfollow them. So I'm not seeing all the crap that they post. They're still there. I just don't have to see all the negative Nancy posts all the time. Another thing about your phone and social media is turn off notifications. I don't have notifications for social media. I have I think I have a couple, but it doesn't show in the badge. Like, it shows when my screen is locked. So it'll show up there if I get a message. I don't have any for Facebook or Instagram. It's only the DMs and stuff like that. And a lot of that is because of clients. But I turned all of them off. Even the little badge notifications, I have those off. That way, seeing all the different notifications, it can trigger anxiety and overwhelm, especially if you're trying to do something else. And so I just shut them all off. And then that way I never have to see it. But I have plenty of times during the day where I have 10 minutes in between clients, or before I have to go get my daughter from school, or even in the school pickup line waiting for my daughter or something like that. There's different times through the day where I get on and surf my different social medias or whatever, and then I get the notifications and respond. I also never have my ringer on unless I'm expecting a really important phone call and I know that it's coming. I will have my ringer on in case I'm not looking at my phone. But if I get a phone call or a text message, I also don't have notifications on my email, by the way. I have a couple of times a day that I schedule time slots where I sit down and check my emails and delete any that are not important and respond to any that I need to. But otherwise, I'm not bombarded with emails. And I'm not trying to make anybody feel like they're not important or anything like that, because they are. But so is my mental health. And if I'm constantly bombarded with social media and text message and email and everything else, it's going to overwhelm and stress me out. And then the next thing I know, my vibration and my mental state just get lower and lower and lower, because I'm in that overwhelm of, oh my God, I need to answer everybody and I need to do it right now. I don't have to do it right now. I will get to it. I have certain times a day where my phone goes, I have it automatically scheduled. It goes on do not disturb, so that it doesn't light up at all. Because when the phone's not on do not disturb, even though I have the ringer off, the phone still lights up when somebody's calling or texting me. And I do have it that way with the notifications and the lighting up, it automatically lights up, but I keep those notifications on for calls and text message only because of my daughter, if she needs to get a hold of me. She's 12. She's hitting that puberty stage. She has more and more things that she is not comfortable asking dad about, that she wants to talk to mom. And so this way I'm more available for her. But at the same time, I can set it down and not get distracted. If I'm busy working or something like that, right now while I'm recording this, I have my phone on do not disturb, and It's next to me on the charger. I could have left it in the other room, but this way I'm not getting distracted with it lighting up. And then, like I said, I have a couple of times a day where I sit down and I have time blocks where I do check the social media and the email and respond and everything else. So, just a little secret there for you. Okay, so getting back to it. Ask yourself when it comes, because everybody's different. Like, what makes them feel good is going to be different for different people. So ask yourself what makes you feel good. As these things compound and you start doing them more and more and more, your self-worth rises. One thing that is stuck, one of the first things a coach I ever hired told me is your net worth is equal to your self-worth. That's just one of those sentences that has stuck with me forever. So if you're not happy with your financial situation, focus on your self-worth. I know it sounds fucking crazy, but that is the secret to it. Focus on your self-worth. As your self-worth rises and your vibration rises and your belief in yourself rise, it's like a whole world of possibilities and opportunities come up. Things you never even would have thought of, or things you didn't know existed, will come, just show up out of nowhere to get you there. But also your boundaries change. I have so many boundaries now, and I never used to have any. My personal boundaries have changed. You stop allowing the bullshit into your life. You stop putting up with being treated like shit. You start distancing yourself from the negative, toxic people. Like, there's people I used to be friends with or had in my life often that I just don't talk to anymore. I mean, I'm not rude if I see them. I'm still polite and talk to them, but I don't go out of my way to have them in my life. And if someone there's going to be people that are going to have a problem with you raising your boundaries. Just be prepared for that, because you're no longer letting them treat you the way that they have been. Start saying no. It is okay to say no. If there's something you really don't want to do, or an event you really don't want to go to, no matter what it is, it really is okay to say no. For your own personal mental state, it is okay to say no. And if somebody wants to be mad because you stopped tolerating behaviors and saying no, if they have a problem with respecting your boundaries, they do not respect you. That is a hard pill to swallow sometimes. Excuse me. But it's the truth. Anybody that truly respects you will respect your boundaries. So remember that. If they have a problem with it, it is because they do not really respect you. And do you really want people around you all the time that have no respect for you? We teach people how to treat us. So we teach them by allowing what we will and will not tolerate. Think of it like a teenager who has a super strict dad, and mom is a little more of the easy pushover. When they're trying to push those boundaries, who do they go to? They go to mom, because they already know dad's gonna say no. But think, like, Would they treat dad the same way they treated you? No, they wouldn't. Would they, if they know that mom's not home, or even if mom is home, and they know that dad's home and they have a strict curfew, are they going to push that boundary of being like 1 to 2 minutes late? Are they going to push that boundary and be late on their curfew with dad there? No. If they know dad's out of town for work or with friends or something like that, are they going to show up late knowing that mom's going to allow them to get away with it and not tell their dad or be so strict? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm sure at one point or another we've all done it. They push their boundaries when they know they can, but they won't push their boundaries when they know they can't. Like, if they have a super strict dad who has put the fear into them, they are not going to take a chance of doing something willingly and purposely that they know is going to make dad mad, because they know it is not going to work in their favor. So they do everything they can to abide by dad's rules. And in the end, this is probably not going to go over well with many people, but it is the truth. As they get older, they tend to have more respect for the parent that had the rules and boundaries instead of the pushover. The parent with the rules and boundaries also teach them, without even realizing it, unintentionally, many, many times, teach them about having their own rules and boundaries. And as they become adults, they look back and they think, oh my God, like, I treated my mom that way. Why would she even put up with that? And I don't want to say they lose respect, because they still will respect you. But in some ways, they will have more respect for dad, who had the rules and boundaries without letting them get away with it. And they see it a lot differently as an adult. So it might be tough sometimes with a teenager, but it's always worth it in the end. And remember, our kids, they learn more by watching us than listening to us. They listen more than we think, but they learn a lot more just by watching. Just, my grandma used to say it all the time, give them an inch and they take a mile. So stop giving the inch. Don't give the inch anymore. They're only going to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So you have some homework. Go through and do, that was a lot. I know the last couple of days have been a lot of information. Go through and do your dream big exercise and look back at it and see what can you start embodying now, but really work on your self-care and your self-worth and expanding your mind, because a whole world of possibilities will open up for you as you expand your mind. Okay? So, thank you again for being here for day 2 of Pain into Power, and I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Have a great day.